Vote.
Please vote. Vote Tuesday.
Votar el martes.
Voting is cool. Vote.
Vote. Our community depends on it.
How many ways can we say it?
Just vote.
Vote for us because we can.
Hey everybody, Ulysses Slaughter here with the Chester Housing Authority's Building Community. This is our online platform for helping folks stay in connection with what's going on with the Chester Housing Authority. And at the time of this taping, this conversation, today's date is October 27th. And we're about 2 weeks away from election. But before I go forward, what's more important, Steve, is what number show is this for us?
Well, funny you should ask because it's an even number.
An even number.
Number 30.
No way. We've done 30 of these shows, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if that warrants an anniversary, but we're not, just like we have no prizes, we have no anniversaries either.
It's funny to me, Steve, that every time this time of year comes around, I start to see PSAs, public service announcements, and people are always talking about why vote, why vote. It's just like every year it's the same question. Why vote, why vote, why vote? Well, I think we should go ahead and answer that question for folks.
When you ask about why is voting important, quite simply, voting is your voice, right? Voting affords you an opportunity to craft a more perfect union, a union that you believe we should have. So it gives you the opportunity to envision and also see those visions materialize by putting people into positions of authority whose visions align with you. So if you want situations, if you want things like student loan forgiveness, or you want assistance with paying off student loan debt, I know I certainly could benefit from that, right? You want elected officials who are in positions of authority who believe with you that that is important. So voting to me is primarily most important because it is your voice. It is your voice at those decision-making tables.
Currently, I'm the principal at STEM Academy, but I'm a former social studies teacher, and I think that one of my goals always as a social studies teacher was to not just teach the history of our country and the history of the people who live here, but also instill in students a sense of responsibility, a sense of ownership over their communities. And I think that there's no better way for young people and for people of all ages to kind of exercise that ownership over the community than by voting. So, now as principal, it's important to me that we continue to do that. And so about a little over a month ago, we had the New Pennsylvania Project representatives from there come in and help our seniors who are eligible register to vote. And over the next week or so, we're working with them to make sure that they have a plan in place. One of our retired teachers, Mr. Peter Koskell, has volunteered to drive our students to the polling places if they need that. So I think it's important to teach students and young people why voting is important. Then two, make it possible for them to actually go out and exercise that right to vote.
Yes, I think it's very important for us to vote. Our rights in the U.S., all of our things that we need to do, being able to vote. Kind of nervous right now, but I think every young adult should vote and be able to chime in, get into the things. Well, I should say, how should I word this? I think the young people should, because people don't vote that often. The young people, they just say they don't care, they just don't vote. And I think they shouldn't do that. I think everyone should vote because they have the right to, especially young Black people. And because it makes a difference if you vote. You can really change something. It's very important for you to know that you have the right to vote.
You just hit on the same point that comes up every year, particularly from young people, and which is them throwing out, why should I vote? What does it matter? Why, why is it so important? And I think as part of young people's responsibility is to come up with a good answer to that.
We elect folks to represent us. We do not have a king in the United States. We have a system of government where we are privileged to vote for the people who are our leaders in certain areas. And so it is important for all of the residents of the United States, everybody who is a citizen of the United States needs to participate in this process. And I know that the teachers here are helping prepare our young people to do just that. And the fact that we now have technology that allows our children to be registered online in the classrooms just speaks volumes for what our teachers are doing. And I'm so excited about that.
For the longest time, we haven't been able to vote. So I believe that young people voting today is like the smartest option. I always thought that it was like real cool to vote. Like when I turned 18, I know that I want to vote and register to vote and vote every election because I know that my vote counts.
To our two high school students there, what do you say to people who feel like their voice, their individual voice does not make a difference? If you were talking to a crowd of 2,000 young people right now, what would you say to them to say, no, it makes a difference?
We as a whole have a right to all vote because all of our votes count and you matter. They all matter. We all matter. And I think that they should all have a right to vote and should vote because it matters.
I do believe every single one of our voices matter. And as we've seen, we do things a little bit different. We riot, we protest, and we'll get what we want. And we know that if we come together as a group, we can make the future a little bit better.